Welcome to the U.S. Great News Channel. Watch the video to the end for current and breaking news about the Russian war in Ukraine. In the summer of 2022, it was reported that a Russian soldier named Daniil Frokin was identified as a criminal by the Ukrainian judicial authorities. On June 11th, it was revealed that Russian soldier Daniil Frokin played a role in the crime allegedly committed by the then Prosecutor General of Ukraine, Irina Venediktova. Venediktova stated in her statement that the statements that she illegally arrested Frokin in the village of Andrivka in March and forcibly held him at the power station along with another soldier were not completely false. It was stated that these developments were really made by a 21-year-old Russian soldier and that Russia allowed it. The prosecutor's office of the Kiev region accused Frokin of illegal military service under Article 438 of the Criminal Code of Ukraine. Article 1 and 2. He blamed it on his paragraph. It is also known that according to this article, the most severe punishment is life. This crime and the disclosure of Frokin's role have also been widely decried by international leaders and organizations and fully reflect the tensions between Ukraine and Russia. The occupation incident, which allegedly took place in the village of Andrivka, Kiev region, first began to be investigated by the media. The incident came to light thanks to photographs taken by the Russian military on a phone stolen from residents of the village. The media determined the identities of the occupants by examining the photos. In the incident, the occupants abandoned the device during the escape. The media established the identities of the occupants when they started examining the photos. The photos showed that the invaders were members of the Russian army. It was a very big chance for the occupants to escape by abandoning the phones they found and for the police and the press. Directing their research to larger areas, specialists were able to follow the trail of criminals. The people who were revealed to be employees of the Russian army were interrogated at the same time and told about all the invasion plans they had made. This situation has almost shocked the whole world. The Ukrainian government announced that it would intervene immediately against the incidents, while the criminals said that they would receive the most severe penalties. In addition, Ukraine accused the Russian Federation of encouraging such invasion plans and transporting fake soldiers to the borders of Ukraine. The Russian Federation, on the other hand, stated that all the plans described by the soldier were fake and such an incident never developed. Now, millions of people have started to look forward to the results of their studies in the field of law. Andrivich Frokin, now known to the whole world and whose name has been implicated in many crimes, was personally wanted by both Russia and Ukraine. It was at this point that the conversation of the accused soldier appeared. While the soldier confessed to all the deeds he did during the occupation on the territory of Ukraine, he also took the crimes on himself. At this point, the Russian Federation denied each of the sentences the soldier said, calling it a game played to humiliate Russia in front of the world. It was also claimed that the soldier was not even a real soldier and did not work under the orders of Russia in any way. Russia even stated that Ukraine is deliberately playing such a game and organizing vilification activities against Russia. During his speech, soldier Andrivich Frokin, who was allegedly involved in many crimes on the territory of Ukraine, said, "I am a member of the Russian contingent working under the name of Military Corporal Daniil Andrivich Frokin and serving with military unit number 51460. I admit that all the crimes I committed in the Andrivka district belong to me. I know that among the crimes are shooting unarmed people, extorting civilians, confiscating their phones, decapitation. But this is the situation, the actions that are constantly carried out by the soldiers of Russia. It is already known that none of us cares about the Ukrainian civilian population," he used his statements. After the guilty soldier, Prosecutor General of Ukraine Irina Venediktova, who was preparing the indictment on behalf of Daniil Andrivich Frokin, made public statements on the issue. The Prosecutor General of Ukraine Irina Venediktova stated that what the soldier said was completely true, that Russian soldiers could do such a thing, and the person concerned would receive the most severe punishment. Prosecutor General of Ukraine Irina Venediktova said in her statements, 35. The world-famous 64th, who served in the United Arms Army. The soldier named Daniil Andrivich Frokin, 21 years old, a member of the Motorized Rifle Brigade, is a Russian soldier who fought on the territory of Ukraine. This soldier, during the occupation forces' raid on Andrivka village located in Bucha district in March, took a civilian citizen of ours without permission and forced him into a transformer with the help of another friend. After the duo beat the citizen, they shot the victim in the head and killed him, he used his statements. This incident is an example of Russia's intervention on the territory of Ukraine and the victimization of the civilian population. At the same time, it shows that Russia still intervenes in many regions where human rights are violated and the safety of the civilian population is endangered. Therefore, the disclosure of this crime and the trial of Frokin is important not only for Ukraine, but also for the whole world. Also, this event draws attention to the importance of the laws of war and human rights and emphasizes that any soldier, no matter what, must respect human rights. In addition, this situation was widely echoed on social media platforms, and millions of people said that many of Russia's soldiers acted in this way and that the Russian Federation had officially committed a crime. As a result, many people in the digital press were divided into two and spoke from different points. Some argued that it was absolutely necessary for both sides to lay down their weapons, while others stated that the operations carried out by the Russian Federation should definitely be stopped by Ukraine's armed resistance. At this point, millions of people began to look forward to how the new developments would be. One named after Ivan Bohun, according to a report from the Military Special Press Service. Separate Special Purpose Brigade fighters shared the operation of the Ukrainian wheeled 155mm self-propelled howitzer Bodon. Bodana ACS was shown for the first time in July 2018. It was expected that after carrying out all the necessary state tests and putting Bodana into service, it would go into mass production. According to the developer of the promising ACS, the Kramatorsk heavy machine tool plant, the firing range of a conventional projectile from a wheeled 155mm self-propelled howitzer is up to 40 kilometers. At the end of January, the domestic development passed preliminary fire tests. At the beginning of May 2022, he became aware of the use of Bodana. Domestic self-propelled guns also participated in the liberation of Zmyany Island. Ukroboronprom, a state-owned company, has launched the maintenance and repair of foreign samples of weapons transferred to Ukraine. According to the Promyslovia portal, this news was reported by the company's spokeswoman Natalia Sad at a briefing. We understand that this equipment was transferred to Ukraine so that it would not stand in the fields in case of war damage. This equipment should be fighting on the Ukrainian side. We start working on it as soon as we receive signals that any equipment is defective, he said. The company's spokesman also noted that Ukroboronprom is not the only company engaged in the repair and maintenance of foreign weapons for the armed forces. Natalia Sad added that Ukrainian enterprises are increasing the production and repair of Ukrainian and Soviet weapons. Taras Berezovets, an officer of the 1st Separate Special Forces Brigade named after Ivan Bohun and a political scientist, says that Russia needs any symbolic victories, therefore Bakhmut and Soledar have become political targets for the Russian army and its mercenaries. The invaders have been attacking Soledar since December 27th. Berezovets says that the number of attacks is so great that no one can count them. According to his information, Russia has already lost several thousand of its elite fighters, irreplaceable in battles. Therefore, according to him, whether the Russian Federation manages to capture Soledar or not, this will be not a fiery, but a hellish victory. Taras Berezovets, an officer of the 1st Separate Special Forces Brigade named after Ivan Bohun and a political scientist, says that Russia needs any symbolic victories, therefore Bakhmut and Soledar have become political targets for the Russian army and its mercenaries. There are two quite different messages. There is a message from Ukrainian defenders that Bakhmut is ours, Soledar is ours. A British intelligence report suggests that Russian troops and Wagner Group forces probably control most of Soledar. So what do we know about those who are there right now? We know the information directly from the participants of the events. I have met with our officials. The situation is as follows. The enemy reduced the pressure on Bakhmut, and a significant number of units of the Russian PMK Wagner, as well as Russian DSHV airborne assault troops, or, as they are called, the airborne forces, were transferred from here. So, the entire elite of the Russian army moved today from Bakhmut to Soledar. Therefore, the pressure on Bakhmut decreased significantly, and the pressure on Soledar increased accordingly. Let us remind you that the enemy's attacks on the city of Soledar and its surroundings have been continuing since December 27th. That is, for more than 10 days the enemy has been conducting non-stop attacks. They are coming in waves every day and are trying to seize the positions of the Ukrainian army. The enemy made his own conclusions after months of unsuccessful attempts to enter the city of Bakhmut. They decided to change tactics. Firstly, instead of entering the city of Soledar, they concentrate their main efforts on encircling the city from the south and north in order to cut off the main road connecting Soledar and Slavyansk. In addition, the enemy concentrated his strength on small assault troops consisting of 4 to 15 fighters. These are elite Wagner units, as well as Russian paratroopers, who are constantly attacking Ukrainian positions under the guise of Russian small artillery, 82, 120 caliber mortars. The enemy's tactics have also changed. Ukrainian officers say that the enemy is acting in the following way. As a rule, they begin to advance in groups of 8 people, which should include a UAV operator who detects the positions of Ukrainian servicemen. The enemy begins to cover his positions with artillery and mortars. Each of the members of this attack group carries a maximum of BC. That is, they traditionally go without body armor with a maximum BC load. Also, each of the stormtroopers has an RPG Bumblebee. Large groups, more than 10 people, also carry AGS grenade launchers and a large caliber UDO's machine gun. If an advancing Wagner group fails, is destroyed, it marks the path of the next group by leaving signs with white ribbons behind them. That is, the next group of Wagnerists who have already entered, they already see the position in which their predecessors worked. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to be informed of developments at the speed of light.